What is going on, brothers? What is going on? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic video. Before you watch the video any further, please, brothers, please hit that like button and make sure you join the Patreon for more intel on foreign women and me helping you get into IT and book a consultation with me. And of course, make sure you definitely donate to the channel while you can. That'd be greatly appreciated, brothers. So let's get straight into it, brothers. So in this video, brothers, I'll be speaking about my first impressions of Japan so far, okay? Particularly Tokyo, Japan. Now, before I go any further as to giving you my first impressions, I want to break down why I first came here in the first place. So Japan has always been on my list of countries to go to. If you watch my channel for a long time, I've always spoke about Japan. Had a lot of guests come on my channel to speak about Japan. It is of great interest to me. So I am definitely interested in Japanese culture, anime, manga, the woman, of course. We love our Japanese woman over here. And of course, just seeing the whole technological aspect of Japan. So I decided to book a trip, right, to Japan. And I'm now going to break down my first impressions. So the first thing, brothers, that I like about Japan so far is the weather in Tokyo is amazing. So when I first booked my flights, right, I was kind of expecting, Tokyo, Japan to be cold like it is over here in the UK. It's currently in May and it's still cold in the UK. So I was kind of expecting that in Tokyo, Japan. As soon as I land off the plane, okay, I come out the plane, it is scorching hot, okay, really hot. And there's a nice cool breeze that goes alongside that hot weather, all right? So going on from there, brothers, the best time to visit Japan is from March to May. So March, April, May. That's when it's not too hot. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. You got a nice, perfect, summery spring breeze, okay? And the best time after that is September to November. So September, October, November. Similar to the weather in March to May, but a lot more cooler and a lot more breeze during that time period, all right? The weather currently in Tokyo, Japan is amazing. I am super impressed. The next thing I want to speak about that has impressed me a lot about Tokyo is that it is so well maintained. It is clean. I've not seen a single bit of garbage on the floor, okay? You come to the UK, you see garbage everywhere. In Tokyo, Japan, it is a very clean city. It's well maintained. The public transportation comes on time. The train comes on time. The buses come on time, and comparing that to the UK where the buses and the trains come late all the time, experiencing something that comes on time frequently in a different country is a different experience for me. Not only that, brothers, right, there is so much to do in the city of Tokyo. It is impossible to get Tokyo done in 1 week or even 2 weeks. You need at least a month or more to experience Tokyo in its full form. And I don't even think a month is enough. It's so big. There's a lot of people, okay? So much to do. It's a well-maintained city to the point where it's kind of overwhelming, but still a great experience at the same time, right? And I also want to mention that Tokyo, Japan looks very much like Vancouver. And I may be wrong here, but I feel like, Vancouver got some inspiration from Japan or Tokyo to kind of mold its city right after it, right? When you walk down the streets of Tokyo and Vancouver, there's a similar feeling there, similar vibe, similar architecture, similar lights, structure, and above you, you're going to see wires in the sky for the trains and for phone connections in both countries. So it reminds me very much of Vancouver, and I love Vancouver, and I'm having a great time in Tokyo, Japan so far. My next thing I want to point out in this first impression video is that Japan, Tokyo, Japan, and even Japan overall is very, very Japanese, okay? You can go a whole day without seeing a black person. I have gone one whole day, right, in Tokyo, Japan without seeing a black person. I have never ever experienced that in my life before. Coming from the UK, where I see black people all the time, where I walk past black people all the time, I'm in Tokyo, Japan, and I've gone one whole day without seeing a black person. Even though Tokyo is the capital city and you would expect a lot more people from different nationalities, see them every day, no, okay, it is very, very Japanese. A lot of Japanese people are in Tokyo. So it may be a shock to you when you come out here and you don't see a single black person. Be prepared, all right? I did not expect this. I thought I'd see a few black people here and there. No, even in Tokyo, there's a small amount of black people, and it's definitely worse in other cities. So bear that in mind. Another thing I want to point out in this video is that it is an extremely wealthy country and city. Okay, when you're in Tokyo, Japan, I'm currently in Tokyo, Japan, and you can feel and experience the wealth here. And it makes sense as to why Japan is the third biggest nation in terms of economic value in the entire world. Okay, there's big cars, Japanese people driving big cars, wearing expensive designers, carrying expensive shopping bags. There's a lot of high-end shops all around Tokyo, Japan. There is a lot of wealth here, okay? And it is overwhelming, but at the same time, kind of, a new experience for me, okay? It is an extremely wealthy country, wealthy city, and there are wealthy Japanese people that you walk past every day. I think I read a stat a couple years ago that Tokyo, Japan had the most millionaires in the world, right? The most millionaires in the world at the time. This was around 5 years ago. They may have lost that spot or still kept that spot, but you can definitely see and feel the wealth here, okay? Another point I want to point out is that Tokyo, Japan is surprisingly cheap. I'm shocked and I'm surprised. My pounds is kind of going far here, and I think it's because the yen is quite weak. Despite that, brothers, right, we're talking about Japan, which is the third biggest economy in the entire world, and I don't feel like it's expensive, okay? I spoke to other Americans, the ones that I've met, which has been very few so far, and they're saying that their dollars is going very far here. So Tokyo, Japan has a lot of value in terms of the goods I'm paying for. For example, right, I went to Krispy Kreme's the other day, and Krispy Kreme's in the UK is around £2.40 for a single donut, a single honey glazed round donut. In Tokyo, Japan, it only cost me £1.04. I was surprised, right? So more than half the value, actually. So it's been a big surprise, seeing how cheap some products are. And don't let me get started on the Japanese food. The Japanese food in Tokyo, Japan is extremely cheap, okay? Another important point I want to bring up is the safety I feel here in Tokyo, Japan, or even Japan overall. Brothers, passport bros, it is incredibly safe here in Japan, to the point where I'm shocked. Japan has a reputation of being a very safe country, but actually being here and experiencing that in real time has been a huge culture shock to me. I feel very safe here as a black man. When I compare the safety in Japan to the safety in the UK, there's a huge clear difference. There have been some cases in the UK where I have felt very unsafe. Okay, in Tokyo, Japan, I've not had that feeling at all. I feel very, very safe here. I actually spoke with someone, right, who told me that he left his camera, okay, at the train station, okay, and someone picked up a camera and gave it to the lost and found people. That would never happen in the UK. Well, not never, but very rare that would happen. Someone will probably take it, sell it, or keep it, whatever. In Japan, very rare that happens. That just tells you how safe the country is. Once again, as a black man, I feel very safe here. I feel that no one bothers me. Everyone does their own thing. It has been a great experience so far and a huge culture shock. Another point I want to bring up in my first impressions video of Tokyo, Japan, is that Japanese people, right, feel comfortable around me. What does that mean? So in the UK, me being a black man, I get looks, I get racist looks all the time. I get people grabbing their phone, people locking their cars right when I walk past, people giving me mean looks, people clutching their bags, even in some cases, people crossing the street where they see me walk towards them. That has not happened once here to me in Tokyo, Japan, right? I walk past Japanese people, they have their phones out, they're not holding it tight, they're not keeping it to their chest. I simply walk past and it's been a huge shock to me, okay? I was expecting Japanese people to kind of look at me like I'm some kind of monster, hold their bags, clutch their phones, etc., etc. But in most cases, that hasn't happened. It has happened once or twice, but majority, it hasn't happened. Whereas in the UK, that happens all the time to me. So that's been a huge, huge surprise so far. And that makes me feel comfortable. That makes me feel, great. No one or hardly anyone sees me as some sort of criminal just because I'm black. Whereas in the UK, I'm criminalized all the time. I get weird looks, etc., etc. Okay. Now, another point I want to bring up, brothers, is that Japanese people are friendly, very friendly. There have been cases where I've, lost my way. Google Maps isn't telling me the right direction. And in some cases, a Japanese person came up to me and told me, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" in English, and actually walked me to the place where I was looking for. That is never happening in the UK. Once again, that is never happening in the UK. I'm shocked. I was completely shocked. Actually walking up to me and actually taking me to the place where I'm looking for. That's happened twice so far. And when that hasn't happened, right, I have simply walked up to a random Japanese person and asked them, "Can you help me find this place?" And they still helped me even though they don't speak English. That's crazy, brothers. That is absolutely crazy. That has been a huge shock to me as to how friendly and kind some of them are to help someone like me find a place where I'm looking for. And last but not least, is that people work hard here. I've noticed that long hours, the people are always on the move, and the city of Tokyo, things move very fast. Okay, everyone's working long hours, working hard, and comparing that to the UK has been again a huge culture shock. In the UK, you start from 9, you finish at 5, that's it. Japanese people working long hours. So that overworking culture is real here in Tokyo, Japan. People are going far and beyond to work crazy hours, and you can see the stress in their eyes and in their face. You know, I've always heard horror stories about the Japanese work culture, but actually seeing it and experiencing it firsthand, it is wild and crazy. Okay, so that's all on my first impressions of Tokyo, Japan so far. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like the video, please comment, please subscribe, please share the video, and of course, please donate to the channel when I go live. Hit the PayPal to send some donations in, and of course, if you want to get into IT, please make sure you book a Calendly slot, and you make sure you join the Patreon, the appropriate tiers on my Patreon for that ongoing IT mentorship and letting me help you get into IT. I'm International Passport, and I look forward to sharing more of my experiences in Japan with you, brothers. Keep watching, and I'll see you, brothers, on my next video. Peace out, brothers. Thank you.